Welcome and good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, so it's Wellness Wednesday. Yes? And I just want to welcome you from around the world and in the United States. Thank you so much for joining us today as we try to give you some good news for your health and your wellness, courtesy of Dax Dunn and Rad Wellness Center in Plantation, Florida. And we are waiting for him to adjust his shot as we go to him in a minute, but just want to let you know that today is the day that you must love yourself. Remember, if you don't love you, no one else will. So you have to begin by loving yourself. Also, April 30th, 2014 is the second year of I Love Me Day. So we got to celebrate that. And someone always tells me that I remind them so much of Michelle Obama when they worked with her on the campaign. But my golly, I did not believe it until I read the story and heard the story about what she did on Tuesday, yesterday. She was making a speech at a fundraiser at someone's house. We're going to talk about this story in more detail. And there was a heckler. Now, they're paying $500 to $10,000 for a ticket to be at that particular function. So the heckler, I'm sure, paid something, whether $500 or up. But the heckler decided to heckle the First Lady. And the First Lady, 12 minutes into her speech, just decided to say, okay, here's the microphone. She confronted the person, going down to them. Here's the microphone. You take it, because if you're going to heckle, I will no longer speak. Praise the Lord. Somebody will do just what I would do. And that is First Lady Michelle Obama. Congratulations, because people must have respect. If you go to a function, do not heckle the speaker. It's rude. It's out of order. Like the congressman who heckled the president at the State of the Union address. Oh my God, he should have been thrown out of Congress. Just how I believe people must learn to have manners. How about that? So First Lady Michelle Obama, kudos to you, my friend. That is the same thing that I would have done. So now I know I'm like you. Let's join Dax. I just feel so good about this. Hey, Dax.
Oh, good.
Seriously, I just feel so elated about this because I just think when you have a function and people are invited or they pay to come in, why are you paying to come in to disrespect the speaker? Seriously. So,
well, people always have an agenda, you know.
Yeah.
Good morning to your listeners. Good morning to you. Sorry about the delays this morning.
That's all right. No problem. No problem. We waited for you this morning. You were just like a minute off. So we forgive you for that.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to start off this Wellness Day on something that we did last week, and you were so kind to send me something about it. So I spoke to the doctor that I normally have on a Tuesday evening, Dr. Melanie, and she is in agreement with the article saying that aspirin is not always the best thing. You must consult your doctor because there are things that aspirin can do that you just don't want to experience. So thank you for that.
Well, you know, and I'll just add, you know, for the listeners who may not be familiar with the conversation we're having, you asked, is aspirin good for you? Mm-hmm. And there was a report that says aspirin is phenomenal and it should be taken on a daily basis. And I said, you know, I would agree that aspirin has its benefits, mm-hmm. but everything we need to be careful that, and I think the article helped to reassure me mm-hmm. of what I've been led to believe is that anything in too much, the only things we need that we have to have is clean, fresh air, clean water, and healthy, nutritious food in season.
Right.
But the food is third, and it really does not, you know, the priority is absolutely the air and the water. Mm-hmm. And we have everything else we need to in moderation.
Okay. Everything in moderation. That's always a good key and always a good lesson. So I'm sure you're aware of the news about Amazon expanding their online grocery business.
No, not aware of it.
Oh yes, it was on last night, and I thought to myself, and they're showing all these vegetables and stuff, and Amazon is going to get it to you fresh, and I'm going, okay, I want to hear Dax's opinion on this thing, because I truly believe that I need to go to the grocery store, touch and feel, and see what I'm buying. I'm not quite sure how I would do it through Amazon, and they're expanding it because they're doing very well with it in certain cities already, but they're expanding this, and I just thought, I'm not so sure about this. What's your thoughts on this expansion of the grocery online?
I actually, my process was similar to yours in that I said, I was looking for farms. I was looking for local organic grocery farms or organic, pick your own fresh farms where you can go pick your own fruit or vegetables.
Right.
And then I came across a supermarket which I would call a second or third tier supermarket where the prices were really low, but you'd find that the food wasn't always the best quality. And
right.
I justified it because I said, you know what, if I was going to pick it from the farm, it wouldn't be a clean, fresh,
perfect thing.
So
right.
if I have to pick it out of the other fruit that are there, it's perfectly fine. The price is good, and I'm getting it. But I've actually come full circle to the point at which, I saw my mom doing this. And by the way, my mom has always been not a freak. She's just been really committed to a healthy lifestyle. She does it very naturally, in a very, very unassuming way. She's not telling people I'm on this new diet. She's just always doing her thing, but always very healthy. So I noticed that she said, I stopped cooking. I start buying my food from Whole Foods. I'll buy a salmon and I'll heat it up, and I'll buy my vegetables. And she really just would buy fruits, do her fruits in the morning, and then heat up the food that she would buy already prepared from Whole Foods.
Really?
And I wasn't sure if I liked the idea and stuff, but I'm actually very close to that place. We have a bigger family, and cooking at home makes a lot more sense, so we do still cook.
Right.
But the point I'm making is that the delivery system in America today, I think you actually are able to get fresher fruit and vegetables from a company like Amazon because they have the distribution tools in place. So, it could be practical to receive through UPS and FedEx your fresh groceries once a week, every 2 weeks. I think it actually is something to consider.
Okay, I am kind of shocked at that, but anyway, because I just can't imagine. Well, first of all, I don't like to buy anything online. That's just me, because I don't think I have any luck with it. Because the one time I tried buying something online and I canceled it, they tried to bill me for the thing without sending me the thing. So, I'm one of those people, that's it, I'm done, okay? But on the other hand, other people have very good experiences with getting things online.
Well, I think you need to reconcile it because how are we going to sell 1 million I Love Me shirts? There's no store. They got to buy them online.
Well, that's the reason I decided to turn, because I got into the business.
There you go.
Don't you know? Yeah. So, I'm asking people to trust me, so I guess I have to trust everybody else. But the food thing just kind of shook me a little bit because I wasn't sure, how is it going to look when it gets here, that kind of thing, how they're going to package it. Amazon is a respectable company, and Bezos is a good executive, so I'm imagining that he wants to keep his reputation, so he would make sure that this is done properly. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, and the fact that Whole Foods, though, I find Whole Foods to be very expensive when it comes to prepared food, and that's one of the reasons I used to go there and buy stuff myself. But when I calculated it out, it just seemed like the price was extremely high. Am I correct, or is it that they just started it, so maybe they're better now?
You're correct, and here's the thing.
Okay.
We like to believe that the process is actually very simple. Somebody grows it, somebody buys it, somebody puts it in the store. But it is a lot more involved than that. For example, in particular Whole Foods, I went there, I saw that they have this local section. So I said, okay, let me see who are the local suppliers. So I called up the company. Guy said, look, I do tabbouleh. The tabbouleh I deliver to them, they order it from me on Sunday evening. I prepare it Monday and Tuesday, and by Wednesday it's on the store in the shelf, and then within a week it's thrown out if it's not used.
Oh, and what is tabbouleh, may I ask? What is tabbouleh?
Tabbouleh is this Mediterranean salad where they use parsley, onions, some oils and stuff, but it's really bulgur wheat.
Okay.
So it's a salad mixed in with bulgur wheat. Very nutritious, very nutty. And if you ever had a pita bread with hummus, a lot of times that little green with the salad there is the tabbouleh.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But the point I'm making quickly is that there is a lot of other things going on in the background. And if you have somebody like Amazon who can use the economies of scale, break down small packages and deliver it, you actually would get it as fresh as you could get it in the local supermarket. I know that when I checked it out, most supermarkets receive their fresh vegetables on Wednesday.
Right.
And that's the time to go in. But they're all getting it from pretty much the same place. So they get it Wednesday, and then you usually go over the weekend. Most people end up going over the weekend to their major grocery shopping. So you buy it already 3 to 4 days old. If you were able to place the order on Monday, and when it was delivered, instead of delivering to them, it was delivered directly to you, you would have it just as fresh, if not fresher.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, that's why they always say the best time to go grocery shopping is Wednesday evening or Thursday. But most of us just can't have that. Anyway, my special guest on Wellness Wednesday is Dax Dunn from Rad Wellness Center in Plantation. And I want to start off by asking you about the water that is included and is imperative to your success on your program. Because should you be drinking the water like really quickly, or should you be drinking it sip, or because for me, once I get to a guzzle, I'm like guzzling half the bottle one time. And then, the bathroom is calling quickly after. So am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing?
All right.
So I really wanted to start there, and I keep forgetting every week to talk about this water thing. So I must start with that.
All right. So you're doing the right thing. It just depends on what time you're doing it. So if you're doing if you're guzzling it down first thing in the morning, that is perfect. It's a very important flush for your digestive system.
Okay.
But the second water, the third water, the rest of the day, you want to sip it slowly. You want to have hot tea if you can. Hot water with lemon is a great idea. But you need to take your time throughout the rest of the day.
Guilty.
When you drink it quickly, it goes straight to the bladder and to the colon, and it will help with the flush. When you drink it slowly, it's absorbed throughout the entire body. It supports the detox of the lymphatic system. So if you drink it quickly, it bypasses the entire body and dumps 75% of it straight into your bladder. You run to the bathroom immediately or soon after. You drink it slowly, your body, it's absorbed by the body, flushes out your lymphatic system, washes your kidney, your liver, all of those organs. And by the way, a lot of those organs, the real deep cleaning functions only happen when you're lying down at night. So drinking a glass of water before you go to bed is a good idea, but again, drink it slowly.
Slowly, Diana, slowly.
In the night. Slowly in the night, quickly in the morning.
Okay, slowly after the first gulp in the morning. Yeah, because, I just find that during the daytime you start to drink the water, sip, but then you actually feel a little thirsty. So you tend to try to drink more to quench that thirst, because I'm not one of those people who drink mixed drinks or anything like that. I'm a water drinker, period. Yeah? So I just wondered about that. And every week I say I'm going to ask about the water and I forget. So I made sure I bring the water up first today.
You're doing it great. And as I said, if the second water and being a little bit thirsty, that's all a good indication that your system is doing exactly what it should be doing.
Oh.
Some hot tea wouldn't hurt. If you have the time, it's great for the relaxation and it will support the natural detox.
Okay. I wanted to find out from you, is the water part of because they always say there's something to water that makes you lose that weight, that fat. Is that a fact, or is that just, part of the talk about losing weight?
Absolutely. First, breathing. Breathing
Okay, Dax, breathing.
Breathing will support your weight loss. Water is absolutely necessary for the weight loss as well. We think of fat as a solid when it's not. It's a solid, when it accumulated around your waist.
Right.
But really, it's a very a much smaller molecule than the solid fat. So you're not gonna pass out fat with a bowel movement, but you're going to pee out fat with your urine, believe it or not.
Wow. Okay. Well, we learn something new every day on this show, don't we? Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about nuts, pistachio in particular. It's been touted as one of those things that can help you with your cholesterol and stuff like that. Is that something that we should be trending on, or is it another aspirin thing? Because I don't want to, because the aspirin thing for me was disappointing, because I see all these doctors saying, take this aspirin, the low dose. But then, on the other hand, it's like, no.
And as I said, just think about it. If you're an aspirin company and you're making aspirin for years, and every cupboard in America have one bottle of aspirin that's been there for the last 3 years, because you use it, it works, you know where it is when you need it, but you take one or two.
Right.
If you can get people to start taking it daily, you know what that does for your bottom line?
There you go.
That is huge. And how do you do that? Instead of advertising aspirin, instead you sponsor a research paper on aspirin, and you show that daily doses of aspirins for a specific group of people who have certain type of ailments can be very useful. And then it becomes the fact. That becomes the good advice.
The big thing.
Everybody is not the same. And the people who they recommend taking aspirin for regularly are people who are on other types of medication. So it's really something that's just trying to restore balance in the body, when in fact if they should start paying attention to drinking more water, eating better foods, breathing deeply, they will get rid of a lot of those other ailments and only need aspirin in the event that you have a persistent headache. Because 9 out of 10 times you have a headache, you start breathing deeply, you drink some water, headache gone.
Okay. All right. So get back to this pistachio now. Is it a great thing that you should eat, I think they said a handful daily, and it helps with your people who have cholesterol issues?
I can speak very particularly about my personal experience with pistachios. I love them. They're great nuts. They're pricey, but I love them.
Me too.
However, pistachios are hot. And if you live in a cold climate, eating pistachios in the night is great. It warms up the body. It's very healthy.
Right.
If you live in this climate, and you have the pistachio, then the Actually, you know what, Vanya? Sorry.
Vanya is there,
yeah,
and she has. I bet she has something to say about pistachio.
Pistachio. Can you talk about pistachio?
Okay. Hi, Vanya. How are you? Come and tell us all about pistachio. And Dax is creating a crazy picture on there, so I have to take him off until he fixes the shot. We're talking about pistachio. We want to get Vanya's view on it, because I truly did not know that it's a warm nut. So if you eat it when you're in cold climates, like in the wintertime, anywhere in America that has winter, then you warm up your spirit and your body. So are we ready to have Vanya speak?
Right. Well, no, pistachio, every food has some sort of a base that it creates a hot or a cold base when it gets into your body.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be kind of careful of what to eat in what season.
Okay.
Pistachio, most of the nuts except almonds have a very, very hot base.
Oh.
So eating pistachio in Florida, all year round is a very bad idea. That's how you develop a lot of indigestion, breakouts in the skin, belly aches, lots of other things, because simply the body cannot digest it.
Mm-hmm.
Pistachio comes from Middle East. A lot of it is grown over there.
Right.
And people eat it in the night when it gets very cold, because it warms up your body. So, in the winter time, you would notice, like if you live in the winter in the Asian countries or Middle East, kids, when they're getting ready to go to school in the cold mornings, like they stuff their pockets with pistachios and some nuts so they stay warm throughout the day.
That is some good information there. So if you live in Florida, what is the best time? I guess it would be like in December or somewhere there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not too, no, it's very few days. You have to be very careful. And if you watch these things and then when you do it, let's say you eat it at the wrong time, you will know. You'll feel sick. You'll have a lot of congestion, mucus, phlegm, or you'll break out. Even with the mango, you have to be very careful. Mango is very, very hot from inside.
Wow.
So the good thing though is that where the mangoes grow, people have developed some sort of immunity to the base because we eat them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody doesn't eat too many mangoes and this season they decide, okay, I'm just going to be eating mangoes every day, they're going to get sick. You can come out with literally like a fever.
Okay, so if someone is living, say, in Florida, where it's warm most of the times, and they're told that eating pistachio will help their cholesterol level, which a lot of people seem to have that issue right now, what would be your kind of caution to them?
I would rather do garlic. Garlic does the same thing without effects like that.
Okay.
Garlic is awesome when it comes to any cholesterol-related issues. So whenever you're cooking, add a little garlic to that.
Mm-hmm.
Pistachio, people would say that, but the thing is, you don't want to solve one problem to create another.
Right, exactly. Okay,
but
I'm glad I asked then, because
herbal things, the vegetables and herbs usually don't have such a strong base.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can eat them pretty much any time of the year. Fruits, you have to be careful.
Okay, which fruit should we be careful of in the warmer climates, though?
The main thing is the season, because I see in the winter time, which is whatever little bit time we have, when people are selling cantaloupes and watermelons, it doesn't make sense to me. It's very, very a summer fruit. It doesn't grow in winter. So eating that, you're eating something that wasn't produced naturally, or it has come here from a place where it is hot.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that it cannot just get here overnight. It takes almost 18 hours if it's coming from Brazil, from Chile, or other
right,
areas.
or Peru, or any one of those places.
Yeah, so there's a lot of extra stuff added to it to keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So be very careful of the season. Cantaloupes, watermelons, now is the best time. From now till about August,
Mm-hmm.
you can enjoy them. They're local, they're fresh. The taste is different.
Yeah.
But going beyond, you don't want to touch those fruits. Bananas are good all year round for us. Oranges, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Mangoes, you have to be careful. It's funny with mango. It's a fruit that grows in the hot climate,
right.
but it's sweet because it's very hot. The heat produces the sweetness. So,
wow! How did you learn so much about food?
Yeah, see, the watermelon now is also sweet, but it has a lot of water in it, so
right.
it's not that hot inside.
Okay. How did you?
That's why with watermelon now you have to be careful when you're eating watermelon throughout the day. You don't want to drink too much water.
Right. May I ask you how you learned so much about food? I know you have a chemistry background kind of thing. Share that.
No, I mean, we just grow up like that. You know, your grandmother or your father or your mom will tell you.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
So, well,
So-
I just kind of paid attention to it always, and you know, anytime somebody got sick eating something, I made a mental note that I was always into this natural stuff, that how amazing it can be if you pay attention to it.
Right. So instead of
Very
pistachio,
fascinated. I was almost like 13 years old. But,
Okay.
it's a way of lifestyle in India, you know, and
Yeah.
the things that you just know.
you just know. Okay, so instead of pistachio, you're recommending that people really try the garlic thing, right?
Garlic for cholesterol. If you want to eat nuts, eat almonds, but soak them before you eat them. It's always a good idea to soak your nuts before you eat them.
Okay. And right now, it's good to have the watermelon, the honeydew, the cantaloupe, the pineapple, because you see them in abundance in the store, right?
Absolutely. This is the best time now. I mean, you just go for it, and you know, just watermelon. It's a great fruit. Just make sure you don't drink too much water when you're eating, because it has so much water already.
Right. So after the season ends, say in August, for most
Right.
fruits, what are we supposed to be careful about in terms of fruits, and which ones should we be even trying to eat at that time? Because
Right.
you know,
Over here, we can still continue with apples, oranges, and pears.
okay, apples, oranges, and pears. Okay, that's always available, too. All right,
Pears is good for the winter climate.
apples, oranges, and pears. Okay. All right, so we don't have to worry about the acidity of, say, oranges eating too much, because a lot of people will say to you, oh, don't eat too much oranges because, you know, it is so acidic.
Well, you know, people say that about grapefruit too, so
Yes.
you have to pay attention to your own body, because I could eat oranges all day long and nothing will happen.
Me
you know?
too.
Yeah, so
But the other thing, though, is that we said that they're acidic in terms of the chemical property, but when they get into the body, they actually perform an alkaline function. So lemon is always an alkaline in producing substance in the body, a lot like most citruses. So it's acidic chemically, but the body responds to it in an alkaline way. It's good for the detox.
Okay, I'd like for you to change that shot and have yourself and Vanya in the shot at the same time, like we do it on
Actually,
Thursday.
Vanya's gonna leave us.
Oh, she's going to leave us? Okay, all right. Before she goes, can we ask her about beets? Because, you know, beets is being touted right now as the magic fruit or the magic vegetable, whatever you call it.
oh yeah,
Beets?
definitely beets is good all year round. And it's a lot of people, I don't know if they know, but it's a very good blood purifier.
Yes, I do know that. And if you're
So-
anemic, it's good too, right?
Yeah, very good. I mean, you can have it on your salads. Beets is one thing you can eat in any form. It will give the same benefit to your body.
Ah, wonderful
You
to
have to
know.
always juice it.
Yeah, I used to juice it with my carrot juice when I do my extractor thing, and I find that the carrot kind of helps it to not be so pungent, because that beets can taste like dirt almost.
Right. Well, yeah, beets. A lot of people feel juicing gives more benefit. But sorry about that.
That's all right.
But no, you can have it any form you have it, even in your salads. It's an amazing vegetable.
Okay, so beets is good. It's not too much hype on the beets thing, because they're really pushing it right now. You know, beets, yellow beets, red beets, white beets. Which one is actually better?
The red, in my opinion, is the best. You know.
Agreed.
I mean, naturally, I've only seen red all along, so the yellow and white it doesn't come across naturally to me. So I don't know how it is grown, where it's grown. I know about the red ones.
Right, me too. Okay, I grew up on the red one. My grandmother always put beets in that carrot juice on a Sunday. So, all right, Vanya, you got to go now? Or
Yes, I have to leave, but next Wednesday I'll try. Well, you will leave here next.
Actually, Vanya will do the show next Wednesday. I'm going to be
I
in
will-
Iceland.
I will.
Oh,
I'm very
you're-
bad with
I
gadgets.
thought you were going to Iceland in July.
Yes. If I can do the live one like this, I can call in, right?
Yes. Oh, she doesn't know the technical part, right, Dax? Is that what it is? No, but I thought you were going to Iceland in July, not June.
No, going on Monday.
Oh, so I tell you what, you better be Skyping in from Iceland. That would be fantastic.
I love to. I hope I can. So let's see.
Yeah. What do you mean you hope you can? They have computers in Iceland. What are you talking about? Don't let those Icelanders hear you say that. Okay, all right. So Vanya will be with us next week for Wellness Wednesday, so we know that already. So we'll prepare because she seems to know quite a bit about this fruit and vegetable thing and when they're available and all that good stuff. All right. I wanted to ask you about green bananas because you know that a lot of people from the Caribbean, they like to use green banana to boil it, or some of them will fry it and other kind of things. Is green banana as good as the ripe bananas?
You know, I can't speak with any kind of absolute
authority
authority on it.
Okay.
What I can say is that a lot of green foods have the foods have a protective barrier. We see foods and we see the insects and the animals eating them, and we say, well, they're gonna eat them. But even though animals are eating them, there is still a protective barrier on them. So you see a green mango, no animal don't eat it. You see a green banana, the animal not willing to eat it. And then as it ripens, the animals jump on it and start attacking it.
Right.
And in the same way, we have to be careful of the protective barrier that certain foods have when they're not ripe or even after they're ripe. And there's a soaking it, processing it, there's a way to actually get rid of the excessive starches that certain foods produce. We think of starch as a heavy carbohydrate and that the body can actually use it, when in fact some starches are really toxic and the body ends up creating mucus to manage it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so I guess, because there are people who swear by their green bananas, we are told that the ripe ones seem to have more potassium than the boiled one that's green. So I guess we'll just go with that. We're inside of the Diana Wright Show live this morning, and just want to say thank you to Vanya for giving us all that good information about fruits. So you know that if you're going to consume the fruits like I do right now, it's pineapples and everything that you can have now until August. But my Jewish friend, Dr. Rubin, told me something that I found out was absolutely true. Okay, I'm getting a feedback from your side, Dax, like I'm hearing myself, which I'm not supposed to. Do you have a knob that you can turn there or something? Yes.
Or is it no?
That's better. I'm still hearing, but that's a little better. Okay. She said that if you buy honeydew, and you buy the there's a brand called King Arthur, and we actually tried it, and she told us where to go into Publix to find it. It's always at the front when you enter the store. And it's only a certain time of year that you can get it. And believe me, I bought the honeydews, and it's the sweetest thing. She told us. She said it's the sweetest honeydew you'll ever eat, and absolutely true. Only find it in Publix. I don't know why, but it is. You can buy any one, cut it, and eat it, and it's sweet. Because I just have no luck with those things. When you buy them, they just seem to be not ripe enough, not sweet enough. You leave them for a while to get ripe before you peel them. But they just, ugh. But the King Arthur, oh my goodness. Have you heard of this brand?
I haven't, but I'm going to look out for it. But
please. Please do.
What I can tell you though is, my latest phase of my wellness journey is in realizing that different foods are beyond being healthy or unhealthy. The way they're prepared, the way they're harvested, the way they're actually even stored, and the time of day in which we eat them play a significant role in terms of how our body responds to them. So I definitely would say you know, the cantaloupe story is just simply that. This is a company that's committed to picking it when it's ripe, rather than picking it early, putting it on a ship, shipping it over here. So I'm a businessman. At my core, before a wellness person, I'm a businessman.
Right.
And as a businessman, if I say, okay, people want cantaloupes, I see them the stores selling them out. King Arthur has the lot
honeydew.
They have a great product.
The honeydew.
But you know what? There's a price opportunity to use this sell more cantaloupe, because I can go from South America and buy the cantaloupes for much less.
I have to find out where the King Arthur farm is actually, because I didn't check that out, because I really, really want to know why is it that their honeydew is always sweet and everybody else's isn't.
They're probably local, or at least US based, and they're just doing it when it's ripe.
And it's one time a year you get it in Publix, and it's a very short window too. It's not even a big window.
That's it. That's your answer.
That's my answer.
And it's a lot of it when it's there, right?
Yes, a lot of it.
And that's it. This company just says we're going to grow it, we're going to pick it when it's ripe, and we're going to sell it off.
Yeah, wow. What a big ad I'm giving King Arthur. But seriously, I truly like to share things that are good with all my viewers from around the world and in the U.S. So I thought that I needed to point that out. King Arthur honeydew. I've never seen it anyplace else but Publix. It's always in the front, and when the season slows, they have it in the back portion where the regular fruits are. But it's always, always sweet. And, of course, it's Wednesday, so it's Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn, and Vanya graced us with her presence and some good information just now. Just reminding you that Rad Wellness Center is in Plantation, Florida, and their telephone number is 866-786-3617. That's 866-786-3617. And if you'd like to check them out online, it's rad4u.com, rad4u.com. And Dax is my special guest on a Wednesday. Yes, he's not going to be here next Wednesday because he's going off. But I bet he's going to find a way to Skype in. I just know Dax. So, all right. Let's talk a little bit about leeks, dill, and healing. Because my Jewish friend, again, when my daughter was very sick, she said to me, she was telling me about this program that they have at a clinic, and the major portion of what they give to the people when they're there trying to heal from anything, whether it's cancer or whatever, they use leeks and dill a lot in the diet, but it's fresh. Okay, yeah, she said, yeah, you can buy the dill dry in the bottle and use it, but the leeks truly has to be fresh. And I don't know if it's, she taught me how to do it with a soup thing, just boil that as a soup and drink it, and how healing it is. How much do you know about leeks and dill?
I know that green leafy vegetables are fundamental to creating an alkaline environment in the body. Specific ones like parsley is great for detoxing the liver and the kidney. Leeks definitely I've heard about. I can't speak, okay, this is exactly what they do. Right. But again, fresh, green, leafy vegetables are really the foundation of it should be your basic, 60-70% of your food intake should be green leafy vegetables, whether you're sick or not. That's how you prevent being
right, prevent being sick, right. Okay. And of course, as we talk about that, asparagus comes to mind, because I was reading an article that there's this doctor who believes that if you take that asparagus and put it in the blender, blend it and eat that every day, it will cure anything that you have, including cancer. So, I dug a little deeper. A lot of people don't like to eat asparagus because they say it gives them that odor from their urine, and it truly does. But to me, if it works, it's just like the beets. When you eat a lot of beets and you go to the bathroom, your urine is actually red, and people panic. But it's the beets. It's nothing else, So, what's your thoughts on asparagus?
Well, so you know, I think that comment gives me an opportunity to just remind your listeners or your viewers, you know, or perspective that we're not about curing disease. We're about avoiding disease. We're
Exactly.
about a wellness lifestyle that says, hey, I am healthy now, or even if I'm not healthy now, my goal is not to cure a disease. My goal is to, I see there's a certain group of people who end up going from one disease to the next.
Yes.
And what we want to promote is total wellness, a balance in your life that allows you to be happy on a regular basis, to be healthy on a consistent basis, and to be able to promote and create healthy, happy relationships around yourself. So, you know, we don't want to just stop at physical wellness.
Right.
We want to encourage people to have mental wellness, spiritual wellness,
Right.
and
Which encompasses the whole person and allows that whole person to be well and love themselves at the same time while they're trying to be well, because it's truly crucial for you to decide, do you want to be sick or you want to be healthy? Which one? Just decide that, and then you take charge of your own body and the things that are happening in your body. And believe me, most of the times, if you watch, there's a program called The Food Hospital on the cooking channel. It's really a good program to watch and see how diet actually changes things when you have them. So
sorry about that.
that's all right. I got it. So here we are. We're going to bring Dax back in. And, you know, I was just sharing with people that how crucial it is for you to make the decision that you're going to be well. It's a personal, individual responsibility. No one else can force you to do it. We're just giving you the information to help you to get there. But it's your choice. It's up to you.
You know, we live this.
Yeah.
I said earlier that I'm a businessman first, but I'm a businessman with a commitment to really personal development.
Exactly.
Not only my own,
Yes.
but to seeing that as something around me. I mean, my own son, my son, my daughter, I want to teach them how to take care of themselves. And in order to do that, I have to first take care of myself. And as I look around at the clients we have, and as I talk to people on a regular basis, I realize that no matter how much I love my son, no matter how much I love my daughter, no matter how much I love my mom, my sister, my aunt, I can't do it for them.
Exactly.
I can only encourage them and support them. And it's only when we're willing, only when we become conscious and we decide, I will choose wellness, that's the only way you can get it. And, you know, does it mean there's nothing that I can do or you can do? No, we're doing it all the time.
Right.
We're encouraging people, we're supporting people, we're motivating them, we're giving them the words and the inspiration, but we know that at the end of the day, it's up to them. We can only bring the horse to water, but we
Can't force them to drink it. So if you're out there and you're wondering, are we crazy about wellness? I certainly am. You know, and I think the older you get, the more responsible you feel for your own well-being, because let me give you a secret, stay away from hospitals. Okay, a doctor actually told my mom that. Just do what you can to stay away from hospitals, because it's not a good place. You go there healthy and have a little problem, and you will catch so much germs and bacteria from that hospital that you're in, that you're hoping will make you better, that you cannot believe. And you will, of course, when you buy my book, you'll read about some of my experiences with hospitals. So I do know about it. I'm not Dax has the book right on hand. He has a proof. Okay, the book is not available. He's special, so you got to read the proof. But when you get it, you'll be special too, because you'll get it without all the corrections that Dax has to put up with.
I tell you something, I am loving the book. I'm not going to spill the beans.
No, please don't. Because if you spill the beans, you're
The book is absolutely a fascinating read. It's an amazing process, and you're right. You can't tell people this story. This is something you literally have to read it to really get the proper perspective and fully understand it.
Yeah. I hope Vanya can get time to read it, because she seems like she's so busy all the time. I hope she can read it. Yeah, because a woman reading it and a man reading it is two different perspectives, I think, anyway. And they get two different things from it. Like someone said to me over the weekend, I was feeling sick, and normally I would rush to the hospital because of what I have, and I know, but after reading the book, because she's involved in the process, I decided to use God instead. Yeah? And she did, and she felt better the next day. So she was thanking me for that from the book.
When you said don't go to the hospital, it will make you sick, and doctors actually prescribe that.
Yes, they do. They say stay out of hospitals, whatever you do.
well, this one may actually shock your listeners or your viewers.
Okay.
But I watched a panel of doctors last week who said don't go in for your checkup.
Oh no!
Because they run tests and they find problems, and any kind of abnormality lead to other prescriptions and further testing, only to discover something that is not real and is something that they start treating that then bring on certain side effects. So the guy said the American Medical Association and the board of certain other
physicians,
doctors say they do not go for annual checkups.
Wow.
It actually is detrimental to your health.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, here's an example. I'm just one of those people, okay? So I go to my doctor, and he's a pretty good guy, pretty good doctor. He's from Africa. He knows his stuff. He's really sharp. But he's always trying to fix something, and I'm saying to him, okay, I know how to fix this because I know my body. I'm just one of those people. So I don't want to do X, Y, Z. And then he gets a little annoyed because you don't want to take the medication that he's prescribing. So anyway, on my last checkup, which was the beginning of this year, because I tend to try to do it at the beginning of the year or the end of the year. I always do that. And they go, oh, your calcium is high, so the doctor wants you to come back for another test. And I go, no, I will not come back for another test because I know exactly what happened. My body, I know my body. I can't take any kind of calcium supplement or anything like that because my body does not deplete it the way it should. So I knew that over the holidays I ate a lot of cheese and all those things that are full of calcium. So hence my calcium level is going to be high. So I'm telling her this, and she goes, no, he doesn't think so. You think. And I'm like, I know myself. I've had this before. And I know exactly what happened because there was a Russian doctor that I used to go to that I missed so much. He was so fantastic. I'm not even sure he was from Russia, but he had some kind of Russian background, but he was American. And he told me at the time, who told you that you need to take supplements for calcium? I said, well, they said, women should be da-da-da. And he goes, no, you're not one of those people. Okay? So hence I know how to control myself because he was not one of those to readily want to give you medication for everything. So I haven't been back. I haven't taken the test. But what I've done is I've cut back on all of the things that I know. I was eating yogurt and, sometimes your body just feels for certain things. I don't know what it is. According to my mom, she always feels for things. And I'm always saying to her, if you feel for certain things and you know it's not good, you should not be eating it anyway. But she eats it because she says if you don't eat it, then you're always going to have that craving that's not satisfied. Okay? So I haven't been back, and I know for sure that when I go back, if I do go back, my calcium level is going to be fine. So you have to truly, truly know your body, as Dax is saying. And what Vanya said, how does it affect you? And a lot of people, I think, just don't know about their bodies.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And how would they know? Because from they've been born, they've been told, you know, do this, do that. You know, just remember, we force kids to eat. You must eat this and you must eat that. You know, we need to really give our kids a chance to learn. I mean, I watch Vanya's son and him understanding how important it is to go to the bathroom on a regular basis.
Right.
You know, I watch my son and him drinking water and seeing the difference that it creates for him in his own body. I watch my daughter having similar results like that. And they learn. I don't tell them what to do. I inform and educate them of what the water does for them. And they now realize it's in their best interest, so they're not doing it because daddy said so. They're doing it because they've actually had first-hand experience and seen how this thing actually changes their body and creates a better experience for them in their life.
okay, I want to go back a little bit and talk about detoxing for a minute, because I heard a doctor, and I think she's a dietitian or something, talking about detoxing. And she came off with, oh, you know, you pay all this money to get this detox, and, you know, does it really work, and all that kind of stuff. And the doctor simply said, absolutely, it works. Detoxing is a good thing. Don't forget that when you were children, your parents used to detox you, but you didn't know what was happening. So I thought, whoa, Dax and I are way ahead of this thing, right? And then he spoke about, she asked him, you know, so why don't you just go and take Miralax or take this or take that? And he said, no, because those things are not really detoxing. They're just kind of giving you a way to go to the bathroom, right?
Yes.
So I just wanted for you to just explain the difference between taking what some people are calling like a washout, because that's what they call it, as opposed to a detox. What's the difference?
So, you know, the biggest misconception is that you can just flush out the colon, and if you have a big bowel movement,
then you're
detoxing.
Yeah.
And you know, there are different types of detoxing. So we're familiar with detoxing the colon, which I agree. I think it's a great, you know, important process. One quick second, Josh. Out of the room, just fill up bags. So the other side that we're not paying enough attention to is our lymphatic system,
right?
And that is detoxed through water and the urine. And by drinking more water, but it's not just the water. There are certain natural substances like parsley, for example, like the beets, for example, that release certain toxins, even the leeks. But you eat the leek, you drink it in a soup, guess what? The soup is made of water. So the leek causes the body to have the response of releasing the toxins, and then you need the water to flush the toxins out. And this is where we have to understand a more holistic approach, a more complete, you know, detox, rather than a one focused detox, whether it's a colon flush or whether it's just the lymphatic system or just the kidney. We need to do a more complete detox and support it on a consistent basis.
Okay, so what's the difference then between Rad Wellness Detox, 21-day detox, and say the detox where you have, what is it now? They have different types. There's one I know with cayenne pepper, and there's a syrup, and there's lemon juice or something like that. What's the difference with that type of detox and the Rad Wellness 21-day detox?
I would say that the secret, the big deal with the Rad Wellness Detox is that our products, the Breath of Life, allows the body to go into a fasting mode. And with the specific water routine and everything else, what we end up doing is really getting a much deeper cleanse without the negative side effects of a fast. So somebody who is sitting there and saying, I'm going on a fast, after 3 to 4 days, they're like, ugh, you know, it gets tough. If they're really disciplined, they'll get to 7 days, and they get into that sweet spot. The mind clears, the everything else. But the weakness in the body, the energy level, all of those things are a struggle. It's really difficult to maintain it. With our program, the body is doing all of those things, but you still have the energy level, you still have the clarity, you don't have the hunger, you don't have the dizzy feelings, and the body is getting all of the benefits of a natural fasting protocol.
Okay, and you don't have the cravings. That's very key. No cravings when you're on this detox. It truly, I don't know what it does, but it certainly cut that craving thing. Okay, I want to go to something that I thought was quite important.
Quick question, Diana, so I have to interrupt you. Are you saying that you have the cravings now?
No. While you're on the program, you don't have the craving. No, yes, I have the cravings now once in a while because I'm off the program. And I do, but so I have to kind of consciously bring myself back and say, And
Hold on a second. Let's talk about the cravings.
Yes, please
Give me
do.
an example of what you crave.
I crave, sometimes I'm craving nuts. So I try not to buy them. So there's none in the house.
But why not? Why? When you have the nuts, what happens?
Well, because I crave cashew nuts a lot, and you and I discussed it, and Vanya spoke about it. The raw cashew that works for me, I try not to eat too much of it, because if I buy it, I will just gulp it down. I'm just like that. I will eat that and nothing else, no other food. That's just the craving for that. So I try not to have it around. And go ahead.
I'll share an observation I have of myself.
Okay.
You ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. His book is the one that I read and taught me about, what he did for Thanksgiving for a family, and I took that routine and I'm doing it myself. Oh, yes, I love Tony Robbins.
All right. He has a page on Google+. It was a similar service to Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And he made a post that so many of us are addicted to urgent matters, returning the phone call, returning the text, doing things that have to be done. And as I observed myself, I realized that when I open a pack of chips, it's almost like a mission to finish the chips because
to finish the whole bag,
get it done. So no matter how big the bag is,
no, Dax. No. But did you know that no, Dax?
What happens with the almonds? That I have a huge box of almonds, as I told you.
Yes.
But I don't eat the almonds straight from the box because the body don't digest them. So I'll soak a handful.
Right.
But because it takes so long to soak, I'll soak more than a handful, and I'll say, all right. In the morning, I have almonds, so I grab some almonds in the morning, and I'm off. But by the evening time come, there's still quite a bit of almonds that have been soaked.
Right.
And my brain subconsciously is saying,
eat the
if
almonds.
I don't eat them, they're going to go bad. And it's almost like, all right, I have to eat them. And I will sit there and no matter how much is there, it's going to get finished because subconsciously I have to finish the task. And I'm saying, I think you may suffer from a similar...
yes, I suffer from a similar thing, but I don't do what you do. I will take a handful and eat it, and then the devil is in my head going, okay, you can eat some more. So I'll do it in small doses. I would never eat a whole bag of chips. Never, because I just feel guilty after I'm finished.
So for me, I'll eat the whole bag, but then I say I don't buy it. So I don't buy the chips. I don't buy the chips. 4 months go by, and I'm like, all right, I can have a little bag. By the time the bag reach home, 2 hours don't pass. It's done.
So you definitely have the same weakness of cravings like I do, because like ice cream, I told you my craving for ice cream. I try not to keep it in my house because if I have it, I won't eat the whole box. I just go and I have 2 spoons. And then, later on I'm going, I could have another 2 spoons. It lasts me for a while, but I just yield not to temptation, people. Don't listen to Dax and I and get into that craving thing because it's not a good thing. It's horrible.
So we live in a place where everything is supersized.
Yes.
You know, and as I say, I think that if somebody asked me to summarize the essential part of wellness, it would be breathe deeply, drink your water, and everything in moderation.
Amen to that.
Everything in moderation. And even in the breathing and the drinking the water. I mean, don't stress yourself out.
If you miss a bottle.
Breathe deeply and relax. You know,
oh my
drink
goodness.
the water. When you have it, drink it. If you don't have the water, relax.
Relax, it's okay.
You know?
Oh my goodness, this is Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn and Diana Wright, and we are live here on the Diana Wright Show. And I just want to I have 3-4 little more questions that are quick, because I know it's time for you to go. Okay, packaging material that are used for things like blackberries, meat. Someone told me, I don't know if this is a crazy thought, that she read or was told by someone that material that they use in the bottom of the packaging, you know, on the inside they put that thing. She said that's something they used in the embalming process of a dead person. So she now makes sure she doesn't buy anything with that packaging. So, but some things, like if you buy blackberries and blueberries and stuff, it has that thing, not blueberries, but raspberries. Raspberries and blackberries tend to have that packaging at the bottom. Have you ever heard about this, or is it something that you've researched or known about?
Yeah, it's formaldehyde.
Yes, formaldehyde. There you go.
Yeah, and it's a preservative.
Huh.
And you know, it's you when you can see it, then be happy. But unfortunately, I've heard that yams, a lot of, you know, grown provisions are actually dipped in formaldehyde to give it a much longer shelf
Somebody's
life.
getting us, so you can't go. Let's get this call.
Go ahead, grab that.
Yes, hi, good morning. You're on the air with Dax and Diane.
I can't hear Dax, so somehow, I don't know if you could turn it up a little, I don't know. I'm hearing him speak, but I'm not hearing his words.
Oh, okay, that's interesting, because we're having his meter.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
right, thank you. Well, Dax, your meter is turned up here, so I don't know, maybe you need to get closer to your microphone on that end, because your
Any
meter...
better?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, no, we were talking about formaldehyde.
Yes.
And saying that a lot of grown provisions are dipped in formaldehyde. I even, people talk about fish, you know, to give it a longer shelf life. A lot of meats, they spray it with formaldehyde because it stops the breakdown of the food. But yeah, you're ingesting those things, so it's unfortunate, and that's why.
Yeah, but what do you do about something like that, though?
Well, and that's why, if you can stay as close to the source, or actually have a source that is willing to explain their process, and I would have to believe that somebody like, you know, Amazon would definitely be interested in making sure that there's a proper chain, but that's been a little bit hopeful. You know,
Yes.
there's not absolute about that process either, but it's a challenge. It's a consistent
It is a major challenge, because when I heard it, I was there going now. I'm looking every place I go. I said, okay, if I'm going to buy, I don't eat red meat, so I don't have an issue there. But anything else, can I find a butcher or a fresh place that I can get it? I've found places like that.
Yeah.
So I can go and buy my salmon fresh. When they don't have any, they just don't have any. That's it. We went there over the weekend. They had no salmon, and there's no salmon, okay? So
Yeah.
it's not packaged. All right, 3 little ones. Coconut milk.
Good thing.
Good thing. Blue cheese.
Right now I'm a little bit, cheese is a little bit, you know, suspect. So, you know, I think that if you're healthy and if you want to have a little cheese, no problem. But if you find yourself, you know, with any kind of mucus, any kind of phlegm in your throat, any kind of, you know, congestion in the body, I would advise or avoid all kind of cheese.
Okay, that's a good one. Ginger. Last one.
Great. great. Ginger is a great purifier for the body. You know, not ginger ale, but ginger, as far as ginger roots, just a little slice in your juices, a little slice in your foods. Ginger is a great thing.
Okay, all right. So we're at the end of Wellness Wednesday, and we're going to ask Dax to give his final thoughts, as he always do, on Wellness Wednesday.
Well, you know, I more and more I am about trying to develop a community of people who are taking charge of wellness in their life. That, you know, while I take the responsibility to be an advocate, to look for answers, to try and share them, and I really appreciate the platform and the opportunity on the Diana Wright Show to reach out to more people. I also encourage people to do the research for themselves, but also every single one of us have something that we are doing in our life that's a positive, constructive, useful habit, and to share that with us. So send an email or give us a call or reach out to us and tell us what is working for you. We don't always want to know about what the problems are. We want to focus on what are the solutions. And Diana, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I really appreciate being able to share with your viewers. And until next time, be well, live well, and stay
well. Okay, so, but no, I'm going to see you before you go. I was going to wish you well on your travels, but I forget that I'm seeing you tomorrow evening at the 8 o'clock hour.
Absolutely.
You'll join us when we
I'm
talk.
going to ask my son to join us. He's 20.
Wonderful.
Maybe he can give us a perspective.
A different perspective. I would love to have him. Okay,
right.
So do that. And you promised to bring your daughter on too, you know, but I guess she's in school or something, so, or work. So we can't.
But, you know, she may be able to come in one evening as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'll have both of them.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Dax, and have a great day, and we'll talk later. All right. Okay, that's my special guest every Wednesday, Dax Dunn, and he joins us via Skype. And, of course, we try to give you the opportunity to be well and live well, as you heard him say, stay well, and just giving yourself the opportunity to feel better about yourself. Shocking news. Wow. You should not, Vanya says that you should not be eating certain things like pistachio in Florida. Whoa. Just watch what it does to your body when you eat it, because a lot of us believe that if we eat pistachio, you know, it's good for keeping our cholesterol in check. And also keep in mind that all the fruits that we're going to eat, what you see in abundance in the supermarket, like right now you see abundance of pineapples, you see an abundance of cantaloupes, you know, honeydew, that kind of thing. The honeydew, I'd say to you, wait until you see the King Arthur brand, because it's really, truly the best cantaloupe best honeydew I've ever eaten. Okay, I don't know if King Arthur has cantaloupe. I'll kind of do some research about that. But just keep that in mind. Apples, she said, oranges, and, you know, you can always, and pears, you can eat that all year round. So you just have to be mindful about what you're putting in your body. The most shocking part of the show, though, is when Dax said he was watching a show with doctors who are saying that the once-a-year physical is not necessary because you go and you get some information and they try to treat that information. Maybe it just doesn't even need to be treated. But, you know, if you're feeling sick, then that's a different story. Wow. Good information on the program today, and you can go ahead and deal with your coconut milk. It's wonderful for you. Blue cheese, a little suspect, you know, because as you do know that cheese tends to, in some people's body, create mucus. So if you're getting that from it, then you shouldn't bother to eat it. And ginger is great all around. Have some ginger tea, put it in your water, put it in your juice and your food in general. Don't you see all those Chinese foods that you eat? They always have a ton of ginger, and Indians too use a lot of ginger. So thank you so much for joining us today. Just reminding you that April 30th is I Love Me Day. Come 2014, we will celebrate the second I Love Me Day on April 30th. Come October 5, we will be having a great fundraising event. It's a white fundraising party courtesy of Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. It will only cost you $30, but if you can't make the event, if you're in Europe or wherever you're watching us from around the world and you can't make the party October 5, then we just ask for you to make a donation on the website of Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. Also, coming up June 15th, something good for all of you who are looking for jobs, employment. People 490 is offering you a recruiting drive. You need to go with your resume and your cover letter if you have a cover letter, but don't forget the resume. Go out. It's going to be June 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Inverary, and just go to their website to get all the information about that. It's people490.com. Very easy to remember. And Judith is the person you need to speak with. She's the director of the company, and she will give you all the information. So if you are looking for employment, which I'm sure a lot of you are, please don't forget to check out People 490 and their recruiting drive on June 15th. That's just around the corner, actually. When is Father's Day, by the way? Yeah, it's coming up too. So we got to remember the dads in our lives, not just the mothers, because dads play a very important role. And mothers, you just can't be fathers. You don't have a penis. So don't try to be dads, because you can't be. There's some things that dads do for kids that we as women just can't do. So thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. And then I say, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. So if you have that breakup with that loved one that you love so much and you think you can't do without him, just consider the 3 words. I love me, let it go, and if it comes back, he's yours. If it doesn't, he or she is yours. If it doesn't, it was never meant to be yours. As I say, adios, au revoir, and ciao. And thank you again for joining me live on the Diana Wright Show with Dax Dunn on Wellness Wednesday. Have a great day, be well, and do for you what you need to do to keep well and be well. And of course, never forget those 3 little words. I love me. Thank you. The biggest word on the planet, what is it? It's love. I'm sure you knew that. Have a great day. Wow.